there's always a certain amount of ego involved in anything we do. Of course, in paleontology, we like to brag. I mean, when I go out and find a wonderful dinosaur fossil that isn't necessarily my research interests, I'm very happy to go and brag to my fellow paleontologists and say, hey, look what I found. It can go too far, though. You have to be very careful because in paleontology, of course, the fossils are what's important, not what you say about those fossils. In the long run, you might be proven to be right or wrong about some of your ideas. So I certainly believe that you have to be very careful in terms about how strongly you pursue any topic. It doesn't matter what field you're in, but scientists are as guilty as anybody else of having too big egos sometimes. I always thought that working on dinosaurs was probably pretty innocuous and non-political until we found the feathered dinosaurs, and then suddenly realized that, in fact, there were some scientists out there with very big egos, and that I was stepping on their egos by saying some of the things that I was saying. In the long run, of course, the specimens themselves proved out. It was very funny because one scientist had put his whole reputation on the fact that birds could not come from dinosaurs, period, full stop. And when we found the first feathered dinosaur, he put his reputation on the fact that those were not feathers, they were something else. And he made several publications on it. However, the Chinese just went out and found more specimens, and more specimens, and more specimens, and more specimens. And now we have probably 20 or more species of dinosaurs where we have feathers on the bodies. And the feathers are so well preserved that there's no question that these are feathered dinosaurs. The feathers are like modern bird feathers, number one. And secondly, there's no question these are dinosaurs. They're not birds that have gone back to the ground again. Ego is a good thing up to a point because, of course, if you don't have an ego, you're not willing to fight for what you believe in. And fighting for what you believe in is sometimes part of science, too. Controversy is not a bad thing. Controversy up to a point is a very good thing because it stimulates people to look further into things. It stimulates granting agencies to give you money so you can check out what you believe in. But at some point, you have to be willing to recognize when you're wrong and take a step back and say, well, okay, I'll move on to the next thing, and that's okay. The whole purpose of science is to keep an open mind. It's not to prove that something is right or wrong. It's almost impossible to prove in science that something is 100% right or 100% wrong. Even Einstein is being challenged these days. And science is a search for truth. But truth is a very elusive thing, too.